Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and I wanted to talk about your word being your bond, the words that you say over yourself, the energy that you project over yourself, the way that you bless yourself, and the way that you imbibe that new vibration, and just activating that sense of belonging, activating that sense that you're going to subtract things out of your life so that you can multiply from the standpoint of what you want to create, and you want to expand upon the present moment, and you want that one thing in your life to multiply into many different configurations and energetic combinations that allow you to come back into sync with who you are. So meaning that your word is your bond, it means that it's the words that you speak over your life, it's the way that you live your life, it's the way that you just imbibe your truth and follow your truth to a T, and you allow it to shine through everything that you do, and you allow the vision to become who you are, and you allow representation to come from your spiritual origin. And you allow that to be emphatic, and you allow it to be anthemic, and you allow it to generate a new theme within your life so that you're able to build those new dimensional ley lines to where you know that your word is your bond, and it's bonding you to your alignment, to the way that you want to be enlightened now, and the way that you want to follow not only the breadcrumb trail of excitement, but just following your excitement without having to generate that excitement. So when you're able to motivate yourself past the empowerment, when you're able to speak blessings over your life and using it as a way of switching your words, switching your routine, just kind of changing the energy that is present. And if you do that, you will always save yourself so much time because you're keeping yourself in check, but you're also just keeping everything and setting the precedence and not allowing the energy to go away. So if you can keep the energy, if you can keep the intention, if you can keep that invocation of how you vocalize what you want, but also say it like you mean it, say it with your chest, and just say it in the most truthful and most authentic way, because we manifest from our most authentic selves. We really manifest the dreams, the ambitions, the hopes, and the aspirations, but also the healing from our most authentic, raw perspective. It's just shifting your perspective, and it's literally just shifting your mindset, and it's shifting the way that you reciprocate energy and how you receive it, but also how you interpolate the energy, and also interpreting the energy, but also using your intuitive abilities to gain foresight. So now that you have this foresight, you allow yourself to have insight, because it's inside of you, you received it, but then you're allowing it to be shared with the whole world. When you share the labor of your love, when you share a story to your friend, when you are just able to share what is inside of your heart, people will hear it and they will resonate with it, but they also will align to that, but they're also free to discover what they align to. And that's what's beautiful about this app, and that's what's beautiful about what's happening with the scope of consciousness right now, and really aligning to our vibration and seeing ourselves in a new parallel reality, but also learning how to change those causes and those effects and subtracting things out of our lives so that we're generating space, so that we're creating differently. And as we are doing this, we're creating differently so that we're not in a state of panic and we're not in a state of just comfort. So now we have a sense of variety, and we have a sense of finding the difference, finding the significance, but finding the things that not only drive us, but finding the things that inspire us, that light us up in the morning, that gives us that boost in the morning like an espresso shot. You know, you find that within yourself to know that your word is your bond and that you don't go against it. You don't go against your truth. You are consecrated within that faith, and you are dedicated to wanting to know God reflected back into the human being. So what we are is God manifested in the human form. And a lot of us realize that to see through the illusion is to see source within everything that we create, everything that we're explaining, everything that we describe it. But if we can do it while we are in that enlightened state, in that childlike state, in that playful state of love and acceptance and true resonance, but also allowing it to open up to different states of consciousness so that we're able to channel from these realms and these dimensions, and also our archetypes with our guides, but also really imbibing the higher self's wisdom. Because the higher self is using us as a vehicle. So we can see ourselves as the Lamborghini, but maybe we were a station wagon at some point. But then we upgraded, we were rebuilt, we were torn from the scraps, and we were built in a beautiful Lamborghini, a Ford Raptor. It doesn't matter how you visualize it. But now it's time to see yourself as the vehicle of consciousness, but also as everything is being projected. But you're the reason why everything is being made manifest. You're the reason why you attract things in your life, but also you're the reason why you take things out of your life and then you add upon that, so that there's a sense of you're just implementing the new knowledge, the new energy, and you're accepting those codes and those insights, and then you're actually not running away from yourself, but you're running towards something. And that's what's beautiful about upgrades, believing in yourself, meditation, and there will be an activating meditation. Depending on how this live goes, there might be just activations and healing energy. I don't know. But I want to say hi to all of you. I hope you guys are doing well. I was I took a little bit of a nap earlier because I felt really tired after I had a client. And I took a nap and I felt like rejuvenated. I prepped like dinner and had a cup of coffee. And then I just wanted to get on here and let you guys know that when you're holding yourself to that standard, when you kind of force yourself to do stuff, but also doing a little bit of something every day that is developing your future, because you're doing in the present and you're channeling and pulling the energy to your future. And you're becoming that electromagnetic kinetic source energy that generates all types of electricity. That means that you're able to be that magnetic force, and you're like the fridge. You have everything inside of the container. You are like a fridge. You have everything inside of the container. You have the 33 vertebrae. You have that beautiful lotus flower, which is the manifestation of life. And you can literally pull that energy to you and have those magnets so that they're at the forefront of your mind. And it's just kind of describing to you how beautiful you are and how understanding you are. If people would watch this type of content instead of other things, the world will be a different place. Well, that is true, but also at the same time, it would be an infringement upon free will if they didn't have the choice to, watch other content, because we all have to see through our delusions and our own inner workings and our inner shadow. And sometimes we can be restrictive and not be able to be receptive to certain spiritual knowledge. So I love what you actually said here, because if people, and I think what you were really meaning, if people would actually watch stuff that inspired them, that was positive, that was loving, or that, wasn't filled with just a bunch of muck and mire and things of that nature, then people would actually feel their body and give their body sustenance and give their body what they need within themselves, instead of tainting their spirit and allowing toxins. Toxins could be ego. Toxins could be vanity. It could be lust. And it could be so many different things. But that allows us to look at that so that we're able to look at ourselves in a different light. And when we see ourselves in that different light, when we see ourselves succeeding, and when we see ourselves manifesting what we want and seeing that our life is going to have a full circle moment, when you're able to have a full circle moment, that really allows you to see that it's going to change. But you have to embrace the change, or inevitably it'll just kind of, make you ponder and make you wonder and question. So you have to accept the change within yourself. I don't let people join my lives, so I'm not going to let you join the live unless we were doing a live event or something like that. Maybe. And it's really just understanding, not letting any of those other interferences or distractions. You have to really ignore the roar, and you have to ignore it even if everything is screaming you in the face to not succeed. It could be your past. It could be your past trauma. It could be family members. But you have to realize you are your own individuation of creation. And if you're your own individuation of creation, then that means that you're being a genuine source of love, and you're mass channeling that energy for the collective, and you're taking the pulse on the collective, but you're also seeing what you need, and seeing what you want is the same thing. So you're seeking the change inside of yourself, the worthiness, the healing, but also activating that insight. And then you're transforming the ego so it can be purified. And then when that purified ego that you have allows you to be humble and have humility and have compassions for others, and to see that it's all of the people that are on this live feed right now is what makes this beautiful. I could say all the things, I could make an hour video saying all these things, but it's you guys in receiving this message which makes it beautiful. And like when someone like saves someone from a burning building, let's just give a crazy example. So like when you see something in a movie and you see that actor, you see Tom Cruise like saving the girl, and then they kiss at the end, that's courageous, isn't it? But if he wasn't saving the girl, or wasn't going through the explosion or running away, it wouldn't be courageous at all. It would just, there wouldn't be no reason for it. So there's always a reason to exist, guys. There's always a reason to live for something, and just know that you're worth living, and that you're worth every single penny on this earth plane. And all of you are loved, and everybody has to go through so much to get to that point. But once you get through that, and once you get to that place where you're really fulfilled and you're alive again, because you're not walking among the night of the living dead. So when you literally are just a different person, and that's what the point is of awakening. When you're a completely different human being, and you're allowing the higher self to use you as a divine instrument, as the scientist of spirituality. Because we're here to experiment. We're here to use our hypothesis, and we're here to generate theories so that it allows us to see the answers and the evidence that we're finding on this earth plane. And also, guys, I wanted to let you guys know, thank you for sharing so much. And also, I wanted to let you guys know that I have private sessions that you can book as well. If you want to book a private session for readings, healings, activations, and things of that nature. And also, I have PayPal and Cashapp. If you want to book a private session, it's $70 for 1 hour and $60 for 1 hour for healing, activation, Akashic record, and 30 minutes for $40. So feel free to do that. And we're going to do a meditation soon, but I wanted to really stress with this message is that we can't always focus on the evil in this world. We can't always focus on the dark things and the dark aspects, because then we're giving it power. We can't give people power over ourselves, and we have to give power to ourselves. We have to allow ourselves to accept power too, and to receive it, and to really see it within ourselves and see it within everybody. So we have to see everybody as like our children. And you see me as a child of the light. And see, we're finding that inseparability between one another. And that's what's beautiful, is that I don't look at you any differently than I do myself. Because God is perfection, God is an illusion, and God is effortless in its persistence and the repetition to really know itself and to be empty so that the light body can be channeled through your divine essence. When a vessel wants to be empty, that means that the container can receive all that it needs to receive. That means the filter can be filtered out and have purification. And you can literally have autonomous knowledge because you're channeling from your own source of creation. You're not getting it from a book. You're not going to a university and getting all of these articles and things of that nature and things of that nature. Hello. That healing energy last night was very powerful. I felt it very strongly. And sometimes it's just disassociating from how our mind works. It's literally just disassociating from the physical focus. But there has to be a firm balance of the non-physical and the physical and the subconscious to the conscious. Because a lot of us, what we're doing with this like new moon and things of that nature, we're healing a lot of the subconscious, but empowering it and learning how to balance it out with the conscious and the subconscious so that there's no unconsciousness. Because unconsciousness is distortion, retaliation, reactatory, and aggressive, and it's just lies. That's why it feels bad. So every time that you feel bad about something, it means that you're believing something that is entirely not true. It means that you're believing in a belief system that is not supporting who you are. That means that you have disassociated from creation itself. And it's like almost like sometimes you just have to literally bless yourself. Because if nobody's people can bless you, but if you don't start blessing who you are and developing yourself, then you're not going to learn how to progress. So we all have to develop ourselves, and we all have to create from the standpoint of how to become the definition of the science of achievement. Okay? And also how to set the miracle into motion, how to use the action to change the cause and effect, and also how to solve the problem and resolve the issues, and also let go of the energetic bondage or whatever is bleeding out that is attracting that to ourselves. So it's like, like when you have clients and you ask them, like, are they attracting like certain people in their lives? And I noticed that I would have, and I'm clearing this, that I would have neighbors that are rude. I've had neighbors that were just like weird with me. I've always had to like go over there and talk to them and stuff. That's something that we're clearing, and we're cutting the cords, and we're cutting and clearing out the energy of so many different things so that it can allow the other stuff to come crashing in, so that the light can come crashing through, so that it can revamp this new intention, this new wave of empowerment, but also this new wave of energy, and also new wave of profits. So if you are doing the things that you love, don't force, because force is an energy of feeling like it's an energy of desperation. When we're forcing stuff, when we're trying to make it happen, when we're putting so much energy into it, being forceful actually detracts great energy from us. There's nothing wrong with persistence. There's nothing wrong with consistency. And there's nothing wrong with being spontaneous and excited about what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we try to just manipulate it, or try to do this, or try to get something out of that, and it gets you into this whole debacle. And then sometimes the image isn't what you should be focused on. Sometimes the outcome and getting muddled in the details of the said outcome isn't what you need to focus on. But it's focusing on the journey itself. It's focusing on having a good time in the midst of the roller coaster, and kind of just free falling and having faith and having security within yourself to let go of that fear. And also to let go of feeling like you can't allow, or feeling like the divine does not have you in the palm of its hand. Because the divine has us all in the palm of our hands, and they're trying to reach all of us. So I always made this example, and it's kind of a silly example, that God is like Santa Claus. And he's trying to make sure we have all our gifts. He's trying to give us our toothbrushes. He's trying to give us our tricycles and stuff. And then when we don't get it, we have a little bit of an attitude, right? And sometimes you can get absolutely what you want. And then sometimes that wasn't the whole point of what you were trying to achieve. Now that's when it really gets real. You get what you wanted. If you like succeed and it's like not what you wanted, then it's like, oh my God, But sometimes it's like it's receiving in a greater way, you know? And sometimes it's just like it was the journey itself. It was the lesson. It was the healing that came about with it. It was everything that came with it, you know? It's not about how it looks. It's not about the details. It's not about outlining it and trying to control the energy, right? And I know I did that weird. Sometimes when I'm expressing myself, I do like these weird hand symbols and stuff. But it's not controlling it, because the energy of control is the energy of forcefulness and desperation. I was talking about fear a lot afterwards on my last live. But I wanted to really talk about desperation and control. You know, when people are controlling, that means that they are an egotist, or they have to plan out their lives, or else it's not good. If they don't have that certainty, then they freak out, right? So sometimes it's just having certainty that your journey is going just fine and you're right where you need to be, and the train has not left you. God Source Energy doesn't leave us at the bus stop. Okay? God Source Energy is like, I'm going to take the training wheels off. I'm going to take the floaties off in the pool, and there you go. No, sometimes in the spiritual journey, we still have those training wheels on, and sometimes we have those floaties on, and it's okay. It's nothing to be embarrassed of. Because it's something that is humbling, and it gives us humility, and it gives us a sense of balance, and it gives us a sense of being real and authentic and being a tender-hearted person. You know, I think that's what's special. Is because if we're a tender-hearted person, then that means that we're open to sensitivities, we're open to learning, developing triggers, anything that comes our way. And we're not running away from it, because most human beings run away from their inner child. And one of the reasons why they do this is because they grow up and they become this person that's like, I have to have everything handled, I have to be a responsible, accountable person, which everybody should be. But they forget their innocence. They forget the things that made them laugh and that brought them joy and that made them love themselves, you know? And they forget, like when they were a kid and they saw that action figure. I remember I used to get wrestling action figures. When I was a kid, I had Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton. You know, you didn't think that you couldn't have it. You're like, Mom and Dad, I want that action figure. You didn't even question it, right? You didn't question it for a second. And the reason why you didn't question it is because you were tapped into that bliss of ignorance. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. Sometimes not knowing is bliss. You know? Because sometimes the more you don't know, the more that you're able to receive and to expand upon from that standpoint. And that's what's beautiful about this. And also just playing. Just don't be afraid to play. I go out in the woods every single day. I go live almost every single day because I have the time to do it, but also I have the ability to do it, and I have the ability to just stick with it, to ground, to heal, to expand, and to just be the anointing itself, you know? Because I have obedience in God that this is what they want me to do. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful life. When we get a new life, that means we get to start over again. That means we get a reset button. That means we get a complete cosmic reset, and we get to release the energy of the past lifetimes. And it's just allowing yourself to see that this consciousness is happening, and it's happening so fast and so quickly, and a lot of you are just not going to remember who you are. And that's why I tell people to refer to me as White Wolf, because there's some people that would on lives would refer to me as my name, and there was just something weird about it, you know, because I didn't want to be that anymore, because I'm not that anymore. I'm White Wolf, you know. And when you are a completely changed person, and I'm still growing and progressing, I don't want to let you guys know that I have this complex that I just, but I want to continue the ladder. I want to continue in the rocket ship. Let it be a continuation. There's a reason why there's a pyramid analogy, because you can only go up from here and you can keep progressing. But also, if you wanted to make it deeper, you can look at it like Metatron's cube, because it encompasses all of sacred geometry. It encompasses everything about fertility, Merkaba. It encompasses everything. That means that if the container has everything inside of it, then it already has received what it needs to receive. But also, if the container includes everything, because exclusion is inclusion, if you will. So every time that you exclude something, you're including something. That's why I say when you subtract something, you're adding something, changing the cause and then the effect, right? So every time that you exclude something, it's including something else. I made that live a long time ago, and one day I'm going to really break down the law of subtraction, but this message is different from that. But I will be breaking down the law of subtraction and letting you guys, get it in a way that it makes sense for you. And my leg is already going to sleep. So, hey, Emerald Eyes, how you going? Let Mike know. Let Mike know that I can do the private session. I couldn't find him at all. I tried looking for him. But I want to do this activating meditation. And what I want you guys to understand is that when you say that my word is my bond, that means that it's a purified energetic bondage that you're having with your life. So it's a purified bondage. It's a purified codependency and co-creation with the creator of your life. And we've had this knowledge since eons ago when Sasquatch created like the world, with like dragons and with, and other things. We've had this knowledge since the dawning of mankind. And when we use our higher self, we're trying to not limit the physical mind, so that we're allowing the physical and the spirit and the body to be a complex itself. So as we're doing this healing meditation, feel relaxed and let go, and just move your legs around if you need to. Stretch. And also, everybody, take a deep breath. Exhale. And breathe at your own pace. And we're going to be doing this activating meditation to activate the higher self fully, to accept our higher self. So all of you can say, I accept my higher self. I accept my guides. I accept loved ones on the other side. And I accept that my word is my bond. Meaning that is my truth. That is my God aspect. That is me aligning to the I am presence. And because I'm aligning to that I am presence manifested in the human form, that means I do not sway from it. I do not fall out of alignment. And if I do, I handle it very quickly with grace, dignity, and honor. Sometimes your feelings can deceive you. Sometimes wondering about the outcome can deceive you as well. Sometimes getting lost in the details can somehow create discomfort. And sometimes being too comfortable can be a way of running away. But if you're in a constant state of panic, you have to find ways to bring that peace inside of yourself. But also just take a moment to give yourself peace, to give yourself a permission slip that I'm going to make my word my bond from this day forward, I'm going to follow this truth. I'm going to follow this existence. I'm going to follow this incarnation set before me. And whatever arises, whatever comes my way, I'm going to go through it and I'm going to have a great time. No matter what happens, a catalyst, a circumstance, and I'm going to look at it with wisdom. I'm going to look at it with a sense of truth. I'm going to look at it from a different perspective. I'm going to shift my perspective and also shift my energy to where it needs to be. And this could be no way spiritually bypassing, because you're acknowledging it, you're cognizant, you're aware, and you're also understanding the truth behind it, but also the illusion and seeing through it. Not going in the revolving door, not doing shadow work all the time. Do your shadow work, but just change and shift and heal and transform and transmute that energy. We can't always focus on our pain. We can't always focus on the darkness of this world. We can't always focus on that, because then it doesn't allow us to focus on the alignment that is present. Because if we keep giving credence to that, then we're giving power to that. Our sicknesses, our diseases, any suffering that we've ever suffered in this earth plane is just a form of a catalyst and a lesson, and just something for us to empower ourselves and to push through. Another person cannot make you feel bad. Yes, they can try to interfere, and yes, they can energetically do something to you, but another person can't make you feel bad unless you were so in your vibration that you allowed them to make you feel bad. Whenever you walk, the ground that you walk on is anointed. Wherever you walk, you push out that other energy. You ignore the roar. You're like a quantum field of atmospheric energy, and you just push it away like a twister. Now, I don't know if any of you seen that movie or seen Storm Chasers, but when a storm comes, it lets its presence known. Fate whispers to the warrior, "You must watch out for the storm." And the warrior whispers back to fate that I am the storm. Because that is a declaration of free will. That is you calling yourself to your faith. That is you calling yourself to your strength. And letting your weaknesses be your best traits. They make you more strong. Your imperfections make you more strong. The things that make you lowly will allow you to become not only a perfectionist, but it's not of a controlling nature. And then you won't get muddled in the details of anything. You can literally hear someone talking and telling their story and, talking about stuff that happened 30 years ago, and you can get right to the heart of the matter. You can literally pierce through the veil and see what they need and want. And you can see past the intention and see like how the intentions on this earth of other people. You can see that their intentions are not as pure as yours. They're more service to themselves than they are service to others. But when you properly give and you properly receive, you allow yourself to see that the Creator always gives to itself whenever it needs to. Every time that you're of service, every time you do a meditation, you're giving back to God. You're giving your life to God, and you're giving your time to God. Every single day. And that's when the Shekinah glory just shines through you in everything that you do. No matter what you speak, no matter what you touch, it turns to gold. No matter what, it just changes. There's a calmness. There's a precision there. There's a laser point focus. There's that Tom Cruise-like focus, if you want to use that analogy. Even if you're jumping out of a plane, you're still having a great time. You're running 20 miles per hour on your feet, and it feels exhilarating. You had to hold your breath underwater for 6 minutes to get the key to unlock a way to break into the place. Mission impossible. So it makes you see that the infinite realm of possibilities are present. The goal or the mission or the ambition seemed impossible. And then you completely just debunk that it is possible. It is a possibility because there's infinite configurations and parallel timelines and experiences and realities happening simultaneously. So it doesn't matter what you choose, it will always lead you back there. You can go about it in a rough way if you'd like to, but you don't have to go about it in that way if you don't want to. But my soliloquy would be to pick the road less traveled, but pick the road that allows you to have ease, grace, and wisdom if you don't want to go around this incarnation again. But if you want to let go of everything and just step into your full power right here, right now, and just absolutely do it, then do it right at this moment. And just allow that to shine through everything you do. And stand out among the rest and be a risk taker. Be a leader. And be that natural feminine or masculine that wants to bring about a wakefulness. That wants to make an impact, that wants to impart the wisdom here. But also just wants to instill within another that they are gods and prophets. I am because you are, and you are because I am. You are the calm before the storm. Inner health, inner wealth, inner energy is a decision. Just make that decision and you'll never regret it, ever. Because it makes sense. It's a transcendent reason for existence, to exist always. And to breathe life into existence. And to be that light that is the appearance of all things. And to be that love that surpasses all understanding. The truth, the love, the way, and the light of the oracle of love, light, and wisdom, which is God manifested in the human body, fully realized. Take one last deep breath. And so it is. I hope you guys enjoyed that meditation. And also let me know on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram, whitewolf4741, BitChute, whitewolf. the Oracle 23 underscore @ symbol. YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle, there's free content there. And also, you can also, I have my email on my TikTok now. So you can email me if you want to book a private session. But also I have my, my Cashapp and also my PayPal if you want to book a time, date, and day when you are free. $70 for 1 hour, $60 for an hour for healing, activations, codes, downloads, Akashic records. And also, you can do 30 minutes for $40 if you can't swing that. So just let me know. And also, I just wanted to do this live because I felt led to do it. But not only that, but just really I felt strongly about it. And I had to get some coffee in me to do it. Yeah, I just took like a little nap. It wasn't even like a nap, but it was more like just receiving the codes. I guess receiving the live itself, because I had a client and I was kind of tired after that. And then I got back up and I felt like different. And so I prepped the dinner I was going to cook and got a cup of coffee and just decided to go live. So I want to thank you guys so much for also on the readings. If some of you are previous people who did the readings on my live the other night, I really want to appreciate that, because it was such beautiful energy and my guides came in so strongly. And I just felt like there was so much interaction. And when that interaction's just really sweet and genuine and sincere and true, that means that you're building community, but also it means that people are actually conversing with one another. So it just allows you to have that community, but also that connection and that humility between one another, and to really see that inseparability between one another. And I think that's what's beautiful. And thank you for whoever subscribed. I see that we've got 2 more people, so I want to thank you guys for that. Book private sessions with me. Go to my YouTube channel, White Wolf the Oracle, Instagram, whitewolf4741 if you need to text me there, and Facebook, Jacob Wolf, but refer to me as White Wolf just to be professional. So I want to thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Namaste. I hope that you guys enjoyed the meditation, and thank you so much. God bless.